How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the More Defined Podcast. I'm your host, James Chapman Jr., and today we have Alexis Noble, who I will let share a little bit more about who she is and what she does.
Hey y'all, I'm Alexis Noble, Mississippian, Southern. Um, I'm a multifaceted, multidisciplinary artist, and pretty much an all-around creative. I just have to say I'm creative now because there's just so many labels. It's so broad, but yeah, I'm here.
I'd like to start off with everything. The essence of this interview is this podcast is an interview, but it's kind of a conversation too. And so, if there is anything that you want me to answer, I can definitely answer any of your questions. But this is definitely a safe space, and I always like to start off with a check-in. So if you could just give a numbering 1 through 10, kind of how everything's going in life. You can share as much as you want to share, as little about that as you want.
Okay, I think I'm at a 7. I'm pretty neutral. So anything could either make me really, really happy or something could really make me either sad or mad. Um, but I try to stay as neutral, close to happiness and good as possible. Just because I know like the little things that may be irritating or annoying or go wrong in my life is just a penny sized thing to what other people have going on. So I try to be very mindful and optimistic in bad situations or sad situations. So that's what keeps me grounded to being very neutral.
Okay. I would say for me, um, barring kind of the high of yesterday, because I had a really good day yesterday, but I say kind of like at an 8. Um, Kind of similar to how you were saying, you try to stay neutral. I do like to be more on the higher side than the lower side, but everything's
Hmm.
going well personally. Everything's going well family wise. There's nothing really that I can complain with. So that's how I try to stay to be.
Yeah, I think it's best when you know it's like it's out of your hands. So being more neutral or thinking optimistic, helps the situation overcome. So yeah, it's been helping. Um, and so I just try to be as joyful as I can.
All right. This is something that I ask all of my guests. At what moment did you know, or did someone tell you that you had the gift for your current profession?
That I had to give for my current profession.
Yes.
I don't think nobody told me I had to give until I actually showed the proof of it,
Hmm.
which was later on down the line in my education. I knew I had to give, so I really didn't care if anybody else saw or validated me with my gift. But I knew I was an awkward and weird kid growing up. I always went against whatever was trendy or was popping. I always took interest of other things that people may not understood why. Um, so as far as validation, probably when I actually was in college, and I began to study my major, which is fashion merchandising, but of course it comes with other um, electives inside of the degree. So my teacher realized that I was a gem and I understood things differently, and I think that's when I became more aware in my personal professional field of validation.
What college did you attend?
I went to Hines and Raymond, and I didn't want to go. I wanted to go to the Art Institute of Dallas, but I think my mom was too nervous to let me go my first year out of high school. So we did a trial run in Hines, and of course I took the basic electives, reading, math, all that good stuff, science. Um, And so happened the next year they started the fashion merchandising program,
Mm,
which came in right on time. And I enrolled in that, and I stuck it out and graduated with my associates, and that's where we at.
okay, I love it. So you have some roots in Vicksburg and Port Gibson. Um, I know very little about Vicksburg, but kind of nothing about Port Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, could you kind of tell me maybe some of your fondest memories of kind of growing up there?
That is so wild because I be trying to dig them up all the time. Actually healing from them now. Yes, I was born in Vicksburg, but I was raised in Port Gibson from kindergarten to fourth grade. During the time of my mom and dad being married. And then we moved back to Vicksburg because again, that's where the roots are at. The family, the core of the family is at. So, yeah, Port Gibson is predominantly black. Um, they have a lot of culture and a lot of roots. With being a young age, I do remember some things. I think the most memorable thing was they paddled us. Like our teachers could paddle us, and our
Mm,
principals could
uh,
paddle us, and that was something that uh, was rich in that school. So when I came to Vicksburg, started school in Vicksburg, and none of that was happening, it was kind of like a culture shock of like, oh, we're definitely different from a lot of other places. Um, so yeah, from fifth grade all the way up to high school, graduated at Warren Central in 2013, and yeah, took off the Hines. I was in band and I was a cheerleader. So those were like my extracurriculums.
okay. What would you play in band?
I didn't play nothing, but I played the flute. So yeah, I was mostly color guard, but when I did have to play
Okay, okay,
an instrument, I played the flute, but I did not play the flute.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
Every school's a little different. Like even though you might be in color guard or something else, I guess more when it comes to concert season, that's when you actually are
yeah, I
playing.
still didn't play. I, didn't- I just moved my fingers. Yep.
All right. I don't know if your current personal IG account is your first one, but if you can remember, can you tell me the date of your first several posts?
The day,
The date, yeah.
like 07/28, like the date.
Well, you don't have to get really specific, but maybe like the year or the month or whatnot.
I feel like
If
I
you don't remember, I have it written down, but
I know I had an interview with Justin with Silk Fam. That was last month. It had to be in top of last month. I have a GoFundMe post up, which was maybe a week or two ago. The weeks are flying by. The days are flying by so fast. I really it's like yesterday was next. Like I don't know. I can't keep up. I don't remember
it
anything.
was March 14th, 2018. It's actually funny because I just
What
got
did
on
I
Instagram
post?
a little bit before then.
And what was it?
Hmm.
What was the post?
March 14th, 2018.
But what was the picture? Was it a video picture?
Oh, so I think it was one of, well, I don't know when you first started doing it, but I think it might have been one of your like first um, shoots that you like decided to actually post, and you did like
Really?
several like that day. I guess they were like different looks. or whatnot.
Hold on. You said on my Instagram page?
Yeah.
Are you on the right page? No.
Your
You said
personal one.
I only have one personal one.
So I was saying I don't know if you did or not,
Uh huh.
and so
So
I
which
was.
which page are you on? Is what I'm asking.
LOL.
Cause you said I was in different outfits.
No, not you, but what you posted specifically. LOL. It's the one that has your name, um, Alexis Noble.
Yes. Can you show me which post you talking about?
I'd have to scroll all the way down, but
Oh, you said my
um,
first post on my
yeah,
page?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking like first when you look on my page, not
Oh
first
no,
as
okay,
in
my
the
fault, my
first.
fault.
Okay, because I'm like, hold on, what page are we looking at? I'm only scrolling. Okay, I think my first page was when I first got into styling, and
Mm.
it was either a group of people or it's one girl, and I forgot her name. That was like my first photo shoot with actually putting the clothes on someone and doing creative direction. I think that's what it was. I was so confused for a second. Okay.
It's all good. Basically though, what I wanted to ask with that, what gave you the courage to start posting some of your work?
Actually, I had way more posts than that.
Mm.
I think for some reason, all I deleted all of my college stuff. Like I don't know why I deleted my college stuff. And honestly, I think I felt like I was posting something that I wasn't supposed to post.
Mm.
And I started seeing family members get on Instagram, so I just like deleted. I really think that's why, but I'm not for sure. and but first posting work, I this is not my first Instagram page.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that. Yeah. So.
yeah, I think I had two other Instagram pages before then, and I used to do styling, virtual styling, like kind of how you would
Mm-hmm.
see in a magazine. And I used to do
Mm-hmm.
that before I actually could put clothes on actual people. So I've
Okay,
been doing
okay.
it for a while.
Oh, well. Um, what comes to your mind when you think about the journey you've been traveling? Just more for like the last 6, going on 7 years.
Can I say what I really want to say?
Of
I'm
course.
tired. I'm MF
Hmm.
tired. I'll say that. I'm tired. I think I did a lot of groundwork in my early
Mm.
20s, and now I'm finally reaping the
Mm.
benefits of the good times, the bad times, the experiences, and I'm finally like almost touching the finish line with some of my accomplishments. And along the way, it's just been a journey of grievancy, of financial stability, to support, non-support, to backlash. So I'm grateful for all of it because it's pushed me to be the person that I am now. And but I am tired. I tell people all the time, they ask me how I'm doing. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm not even gonna hold you. But I'm not complaining. I'm just tired, and I'm gonna keep pushing
Mm.
through and doing what was supposed to be done for me. So that's where I'm at.
Um, Honestly, that's for me and how I think. Getting to the point of like being tired, not like tired to want to quit, but just tired. Kind of one of those scary moments that I think about down the line because I don't
Hmm.
want to ever get to the point where I feel like I'm burning myself out, or it's like, have I done all this work kind of for nothing?
That's where I be at sometimes. So much. I've just noticed that I've been tucking away so many feelings because I'm like the
Mm,
strong friend, but lately it's been I can't like be strong right now. Um, so I'm definitely experiencing or was experiencing burnout and like trying to delegate my time and energy a little bit more seriously to where I don't burn out. But I'm also in a position of like, once this is all done, like, is it for nothing? And
mm.
I have that on my mind quite often.
Well, just being on the outside looking in, I would say everything so far to me hasn't been for nothing, and that I can
Mhm.
tell once you start to reap some more of those benefits that hopefully you mentally won't have some of those same thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I've took things to like it's a time in the season for everything, and the way has gone is the way it's supposed to have gone. I've been having deja vu a lot lately, so I just be like, okay, yep, that's great. I did it. I'm aligned. So I'll just take everything with a grain of salt now and keep pushing forward. And even if it wasn't for nothing, it was done, and I can say that I done it.
Your first feature slash highlight was done by Every Dope Girl. What does it mean to you when you get the opportunity to have those moments of recognition?
Where you getting this information
So I try to do my best research, basically.
Period. Cause yeah, I don't know if that was my first recognition as I feel like I was recognized um, by Mississippi Free Press when I was in
Mm,
college for
okay, okay.
my work. But as in, I could say in my career now, yes, that was my. I think that was
Mm,
my first feature. But that was from a lady in New York. I forgot her name. We met her through my teacher in college when we went to New York for a field trip for fashion. Um, and I guess she saw the inspiration or dedication I had for fashion and decided to reach out. I think her name was Sin. I really forgot. What was your question?
what does it mean to you when you get those opportunities to be recognized?
Um, I mean, I adore it, and I'm very grateful because I know press does make an impact on the society and work that you do to get other and better opportunities, which means more for the community and for myself. But I'm also a person who don't feel like I need validation. I don't
Mm-hmm.
seek validation. Don't say that I don't need it. I don't seek it. So when I do get it, I take it and I'm grateful, but I'm not, pressed to be in the press. When I first started actually becoming more into the art scene, I kind of wanted to be anonymous. Um, I didn't want my name really connected to none of my brands because I didn't want people to like decide yes or no based off of me and not the work that was being done. But of course, eventually I had to start attaching my name to things. But I think that still sums up like the opportunities that you get from one press can open doors for another one. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I enjoyed the experience and the light that it shed on me prior to. And I also think that sometimes people have to see things like that to consider you worthy of, or that we now can talk to you now because you got a write up or something like that. But it's a part of the game.
Why did you initially want to be anonymous with your work and like the art you were putting out?
I think with being a part of a very small city that does not have a lot of outlets for a lot of people who have the same thoughts. That a lot of things could be said or misconstrued or
Mm,
perceived. And with coming into a city that I'm not from and doing a lot for the community when there's other people here that haven't, it's just a lot of hate and envy and jealousy
mm,
that comes along with it. So again, I didn't want people to say yes or no because of a name that's attached. It's just I want you to know that the work is being done regardless of who's doing it, and either support it or don't support it. But don't support it because she's a black dark skinned girl, or don't support it because she has this, or do support it because she has that. Like me and the mashup and my studio are two different people. So
mm. I got you. I got you. Uh, I know you participated in a million different things. I'm gonna continue to participate in a million more.
okay.
But what has been one of your favorite moments in like the last year or two?
Mm, I think I had a moment of walking by faith and not by
Mm,
sight, and being a very big testimony of that. I was unemployed for about 8 months last year. I didn't get employed till around November. Um, and I didn't do nothing but create events and hold spaces, and I survived. So be able to walk by faith, have my bills taken care of, have food to eat, cars, everything paid for, and still do what I like to do as a passion really showed me that I can conquer whatever as long as I have faith and keep God first. So seeing that is what puts me in that position or taking a leap of big tasks that I
mm.
don't see, fulfilled in right now, but I know will get fulfilled.
I love that. Definitely love that. Something I try to remind myself of every day. I try.
Absolutely. What is like what are you in outside of like the podcasting?
So, um, at the moment, I am an engineer. My day job, basically. Um, I went to school for chemical engineering, and so I'm trying my best to work in my field at the moment. But lately, I don't want to say a revelation, but I kind of had a moment where it was like I wanted to tap back into my creative side, and so this is actually my second podcast. I had
Oh,
one back in late 2019, and it
mm-hmm,
lasted for almost 2 years, but I stopped it to focus on school.
mm-hmm,
And so this time around, I'm doing it with a different angle, but something that was better for me mentally too, and getting more into the fact that I like being a storyteller, and I want to be as creative as I can with that. I want to
mm-hmm.
tell people stories to the highest degree that I can,
Okay.
and mainly share people's stories who don't always get told. So
Are you are you in Jackson?
yeah, so I'm from Ridgeland. I'm still actually in Ridgeland now, but
Mm-hmm.
technically from Jackson too. I claim a little both because of family, and I grew up a good bit in Jackson. But yeah,
Okay, cool. Well, definitely let me know if I can help you with anything. I know I have an exhibition coming up,
mm,
and you know we do storytelling. We're trying to find storytelling stuff. If you want to bring your podcast to the exhibition and talk to people and get stories, have at it.
I appreciate that. Where did the idea for the inception of the Vibe Studio come from?
Um, so going back to school in my fashion class, I had one what do you call them? Not student, but one of my classmates had to take some of the classes, and he had a camera, and I was like, I want to style. You should be my photographer. And I've started setting up things and started seeing people on Instagram. I was like, hey, can we shoot you? I don't know. His name is Vintage God now, but I call him Twine because that's my baby. We started shooting in college, and one day we were shooting in his house, and his roommate was like, "Yeah, y'all gotta start paying bills if y'all shooting in my house." I'm like, "Oh." So immediately went look for a location, and I remember to this day I was working at the call center looking for a location, calling people in between calls, and I finally found a space that I felt like was affordable at the time. It's like $800. It was a suite in the shopping center on Terry Road. They have knocked one side of that shopping center down now. And I met this man in the middle of the night up in the building looking at it with a flashlight. Nobody but me. I was that dedicated to get a space. He told me the price. I was like, I'll take it. Told Twan. I was like, hey, we can go half on the space. And we opened up a photography studio. Um, yeah, we opened up a studio. We opened it to other photographers. And he named it Vibe Studio.
Mm.
And he said it was an acronym for Vision Inspired by Energy. So we got a second studio space, and we named it, kept it the same, and it's already like an entity and registered in the system already. So I'm bad with naming things, and I just kept that name after he left from my last studio, and then transitioned it to Vibe Studio JXN, which is the art gallery, but it's also a creative incubator. So it can be a space for film, photography, art, open mics, all of that, all in one. So I didn't want to call it an art gallery because that's not essentially what it is all the way, but it will be somewhat of an art gallery.
Why was it important for you to create the mashup?
The mashup was supposed to be a one event thing.
Mm.
And the reason why I wanted to create it because it seemed like social media was the only way that I saw um, art here, and
Mm.
the only way I was able to be seen. And when I realized there was a lot of people who were feeling the same way, um, I was like, I think I can do this, but I don't know how to do it. And I also saw that there were opportunities every blue moon for locals to be showcasing art exhibitions. And I was just very also curious why I was never chosen to be one because at the time I was shooting or styling a lot and had a lot of editorial work out, which was
Mm.
very different from what people normally consume here in Mississippi. Um, so that was one reason. And two, I went to an art show and I basically broke the whole show down logistically. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is easy. I just need a space. So once a mentor of mine had a space and was like, you can use it, it was just go from there, put it out, see how many people take to it. And we had over 20 visual artists. I already had friends who were musicians and music artists, so it was easier put together on that end. And it was one show, and then people turned it out. And I was just in so much of awe that people came out because, again, I'm nobody. And then people were like, can you do another one? What is this called? And I was like, I guess it's the mashup. And we just rolled with that name and then expanded on the mashup, which is now a nonprofit and one of
Mm.
the program entities up under Vibe Studio.
Mm. Okay. Did you have kind of like a set unrealistic, maybe realistic expectation of how many people were gonna show up to the first one?
No, because I think we had sold tickets online, was selling tickets
Mm.
online, I think, and no, and not that many was sold. So I was just like, yeah, this is just gonna be something that I just did and with the whoop. You know, y'all ain't gotta worry about me having it again. And then I actually came late to my thing, and people were calling me, was like, there's no parking. The lines wrapped around the building. There's so many people out here. I'm like, what? And I pull up and see so many people. I'm like, oh my gosh, people really came. That was my first experience throwing the event, and then from there, I just learned from each show and made sure I fixed it and went forward to the next show. So we're in year three. We're doing art exhibitions.
I attended just a little side note. I attended my first one last year.
You came
It
to
was
one of my
one of the mashup events. Yeah.
one.
Um,
Which one?
want to make sure I get the date right. It was
Just tell me
the
what was going
September
on.
October one.
It was cold.
Not really.
It had to been. It was it the one in the warehouse.
It was in Dueling Hall.
Oh, last year
Yeah.
you came to the one with Samoa was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that was a way different format than our normal ones, and that was because we had to make it work with the space.
Uh,
So it didn't give you the concert and stuff. And I've tried different methods with them. Some have the whole big shindig, some are just panels, some is just art. Um, so just trying to see which one is the best for the crowd and for the art to get exposed.
yeah. Well, I enjoyed myself. I
Oh,
definitely
thank
loved
you.
everything about it.
Yeah, I feel like you probably like the storytelling or the meaning behind it.
But I was actually mad at myself that I hadn't attended any of the other ones before then. But
Yeah, we had some pretty lit mashups for sure.
all right, so how challenging has it been to accept the critiques and the compliments about your work?
I'm really a big critic of myself. So
Mm,
I think by the time people give me a critique, I've already like noted it and already like then fixed it for the next go round. Um, but I also like being critiqued because again, I'm being a service of people, so I do want to hear what people have to say. And then either I'm gonna take it or not take it. But if I don't take it, it's definitely a big reason why. And I've like thought about all of the circumstances that could happen with that decision. Now, as far as being complimented, for some reason I don't take compliments well. I really get really shy, and I'm like, please stop. So I adore them. I appreciate them. And since I'm not big on like words and more so
mm,
action, I just be like, just show me, just keep coming to the shows. Like I feel the support, I feel the compliments. Um, but I do adore them. I do thank them, and I don't know. I don't be knowing what to say back to people when they compliment me sometimes. Especially if it's somebody that I don't know. But I
mm.
definitely appreciate them for sure.
If your 9 or 10-year-old self could see you now, what would she say?
Um, she about to tell me to be normal. When I have my little breakdowns, I be like, I'm just gonna quit all this. I'm gonna be a normal person. And then, boop, an idea come up, and I have to. do it. I don't know what she would tell me. Actually, um, I don't know what she would tell me. But yeah, she would
That's totally
just be
fine.
like, be a normal person because you're
Mm,
gonna be stressed out.
I understand that part definitely. So, do you have an end goal for the Vibe Studio and the mashup as well? And like, where do you kind of see it landing at some point?
um, I named it Vibe JXN for a reason. Because I do want to have multiple locations.
Mm,
So building that foundation here to where it's sustainable and it's running and giving back to the community, also employing creatives, giving creatives outlet, is like my main focus on the space. Training people, giving them knowledge, getting knowledge, allowing them to be teachers. And for the mashup, again, like I said, it's going to continue as a program, a servant to Vibe, to where we're able to get funded and have, things for free and be able to give out things and continue to elevate the creative scene in Jackson. And then I'm just planning on moving and getting another location and allowing creatives to run that space, and just keep that same, motto throughout different locations. And also connecting the South, where
mm.
Mississippi is not just standing alone, but it has its allies, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Memphis, um, Arkansas, all of those places.
Are you a big proponent on more of working with people to make sure you have like a certain goal or like event happen, or are you kind of looking for some partnerships as well once you get to getting to more of those different locations for the studio spaces?
You said, do I want partnerships or do I have a goal?
Are you are you looking more for like the partnerships whenever you're doing things, or is it more for like as long as this event can happen and I have some help? Is that kind of something that you lean towards?
I'm trying to dissect your question.
It was a weird question. I just thought of it. um,
So are you asking, do I need assistance and partnership to do these events, or do I just do them? Is that what you're asking?
no, but I'll rewrite the question.
Okay.
How trying to figure out a good way to ask it. Basically, are you seeking or actively seeking partnerships for you to get a chance to be able to expand on what you're doing with the Vibe Studio?
Oh yes. I'm all for partnership if the alignment works and it's both beneficial. Um, I tell people all the time I'm easy to talk to. Like, don't be scared. Um, and but I'm also not a BSer. So if you come to me,
Mm,
just come to me correct. Um, I'm always down to help. I'm always down to partner. And if it is on some opportunities, things like that, be upfront about it. So yes, I am always looking for a partnership, especially if it aligns and I can make the connections make sense. I am for expansion. hmm Anybody out
okay.
there?
um, Going into the future a little bit, and you kind of look back at everything, what is one thing you would want people to remember about you?
um, that whatever I say I'm gonna do it for the most part. If it's not tomorrow or next year, it's gonna get done. So I'm an executioner. I'll say
All right, hitting the home stretch here. This last segment, some questions to kind of make your brain roll a little bit, kind of be a little fun or whatnot. So I just have three for you.
that.
Give me some of your, well, it's not this one kind of isn't a question, but give me some of your favorite fresh faces in the creative scene.
Fresh faces. Oh, this is hard because I don't want to be biased. Um, but I will say the people that may be talented, I just haven't came across them.
Mm,
So you got to be in my face. Like I need to see you, which is why I'm expanding my team. Let's see. Fresh faces. We have J Buck. He is a visual artist. He just has his own style, his own characters. It's just a whole like movement. And he has individuality in his craft and his artwork. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. And dang, I just had the other person in my head. Fresh faces. Dang, who was the other person? Dang, hold on. There's this girl that's in Meridian, and I forgot her name, but she does really cold work. And then there's a guy that I have my eyes on, hopefully to bring to the team. His name is Nick. He goes to Jackson State. I see a lot of potential in him, and I want to sow into him. So those are my people right now that I can think of.
Okay, okay. Um, but basically, like you said, it's just a matter of coming across some of like the newer talent for people.
Yeah, that's what my goal is. I know there are a lot of artists in my age bracket that need some like assistance and exposure, but I want to say my main goal is to give and support everybody, but also really put my hands on the younger and the youth people up under me because I didn't have that guidance or opportunities
Mm,
coming up. And a lot of people have that mentality like, you gotta struggle like I struggled, or you gotta figure it out like I figured it out. And I'm just like, what has that gotten us, y'all? Like, why are you so hurt and so mad that you feel like you can't assist someone? Like, our talents is not our talents. Like, our talents is to be shared and to keep, the motion and the good juju in the air. So that's why I'm also like so ready to be open and done with my studio so I can
mhm.
really take my time with the youth um, in the creative community.
Uh, if you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
To save some money. Save your money. I would say save your money. And everything that glitters is not gold.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, just the last one. Have to word it pretty precisely. If you owned a library, what kind of library would it be? A music library, a regular book library, or a movie/TV show library?
I have more interest in music than TV shows, but I also very definitely have an interest in cinematography. I just don't have the mental capacity to write a script, let alone direct a TV show or movie. So I would say music, and then if I could get a second one, it would be TV shows. But I'm not a regular person, so I definitely would not want a regular library. But A regular library has knowledge, so I might need that because you need to know those things in life to get to the other things. So I don't know. Yeah.
Last person I interviewed, they cheated and they chose all of them. So I understand if you have a have a desire to kind of have a little bit of
Hmm.
all of it.
It glitched a little bit.
Well, Alexis, I want to. What are you saying?
I was saying it glitched a little bit, but it's back on track.
Uh, well, Alexis, I want to thank you for giving me some of your time today and being able to share some of your story and some of your experiences. I certainly appreciate it.
Okay. Well, let me know anytime. Feel free to hit me up.
I'll definitely
You
do
hear
so.
me? Okay. Okay. Yes. You have a nice day, and I wish you the best of luck with your podcast. Bye, y'all.
It's more defined. I'll see y'all next time.